BMR4.com and BMRodds.com, boys. What is going on? Welcome back to the lobby, episode number 137. As always, each and every week, Mr. Reload. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, doing well here. Had a nice Super Bowl and just trying to stay in from the cold, but still a lot of action on the board with basketball tonight and a lot coming up this month. So we'll see how it goes from here.
Awesome, man. Last but not least, Mr. Sam's in charge. What's up, Sammy?
Bobby, can you not even read your own headline? We're on episode 138. 137 was last week. Come on, we're living in the past.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're a week away from your cruise. You know, you got to get your head in the game. You know, how close are we to that 200-pound marker we give up there?
Unfortunately, we gave up. I'm currently 235.
Oh, you're going in the wrong direction.
I'm trending in the opposite direction. You know, I'm disappointed. The wife's disappointed. The form is disappointed in my backwards progress. But like I told the wife, I said, you know, after we come back from the cruise, I'm going to hit, well, I don't know about hitting the gym, but I am going to hit the diet pretty hard. And I'm going to try to get back, back on track. You know, Sammy, I don't believe the wife is going to sleep with me again until I'm down to 200 pounds.
I'm going to say this. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Yes.
Yeah, the time to hit the gym is before the cruise, not to wait until after, man.
Yeah, but you know what? If there's going to be a challenge, then 200 mark to get your penis played with, then that's got to be the motivator.
To do yoga every day on the boat or something.
You know what? I am going to check out the gym. I don't know if
it might not be motor boating.
I am going to walk every day, though. Surprisingly, I do a lot of walking on the cruises. I do not use the elevator. I walk, so I put in a ton of steps. Those ships are pretty big, and I definitely get my steps in on the ship. So, yes, even though I'm going to enjoy myself, I'm going to eat, I'm going to drink. I got the drink package, 15 alcoholic drinks a day. But I'm definitely going to try to walk off as much as possible. But, Reload, let me jump over to you, buddy. Actually, have you guys ever been down to Key West, Florida? Or stopping in Key West? It's one spot that I've never been, so I don't know what to do there.
No.
I was there
in Miami a few times.
I was there as a teenager. I've been on a cruise down there, but not as an adult, so it's been a while.
All righty. Well, anybody listening, I'm going to be in Key West, one of the major cities, and Nassau, Bahamas. I'm going to spend a couple days after the cruise in New Orleans, Louisiana. I know Brock is a big fan of the food down.
You going to earn your beads?
Excuse me?
You're going to earn your beads?
Yes, I'm going to earn my beads by showing my wonderful titties off.
How about Angel Eyes?
Yeah, she's going to be earning her beads as well.
Nice.
She said she's going to get some every
color. It's going to go over the neck or in the anal?
Over the neck.
All right.
Over the neck.
So the cruise leaves from New Orleans?
The cruise does leave from New Orleans.
Yeah,
Me, the wife, and the in-laws are leaving here at midnight Saturday night, flying down to New Orleans, and then we get on the ship about 10:30, 11 o'clock on Sunday. Sunday.
Yeah, sounds good.
So very excited. Very excited for that. But you know what I'm also excited for, Reload? I'm excited to talk some Super Bowl. How was it for you, buddy?
Yeah, it was good for me betting-wise. All I posted on the forum cashed. Seattle money line, Seattle -5, and the under 45.5 all came in. Sometimes it just all falls the right way, and that's exactly what happened there. I was pretty happy that holding penalty got called back on Walker's last touchdown there. Otherwise, that would have blown the under for a lot of us. So that made it a big sweep for me. Food-wise, nothing too special. Just made some hot dogs and French fries at home. Bought a bunch of snacks that are all still sitting here. So I'll be getting to all that one by one.
All righty. Sammy, over to you. Your Super Bowl, how was the food?
Yeah, same with Reload. I was on Seattle and under, and it's funny. I mean, the game was 12-0 going into the fourth quarter. I had just texted my dad and my brother, and I was just like, oh, it's like plus 6,000 for no score, no touchdown in the game, or something crazy. And then they scored like 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and there was a holding penalty away from the over somehow hitting. If they scored 37 points, what a bad beat in the Super Bowl. Nothing like it. But the game from a, it wasn't a great game. The first half was a good game. It was a close game. I guess New England kept it close because Seattle kept kicking field goals. But yeah, Kenneth Walker was the rightful MVP, first running back MVP in a while. Yeah, it was nice to get some wins at the end of the Super Bowl, build the momentum into week one. Now we're 6 months away. It's for the next until football action, a couple months away from the draft. For the Super Bowl itself, I don't know if I said it. I think maybe I did. I had the loaded nachos where I did the two-pan where I put the cheese and the burger and the cheese on top, baked it, and then I put it right over the nachos. So that was good. And the Super Bowl halftime show was meh. I thought the dancing was all right. I thought the stage was cool. I knew watching it live that it was going to look horrible in the audience, for people that were actually in the Super Bowl. And for all the footage I saw, it was pretty bad. From TV, it wasn't horrible, but obviously it was, again, not controversial. It was in Spanish. So, it wasn't really that great overall. So people say that it was the best of all time or just, trying to piss off people right now. But it's not even in the top 10 of all time. And then the commercials overall were pretty disappointing. Good one here and there. The Dunkin' Donuts one was good. There's a couple other. One of the Bud Light ones was good. There was but yeah, overall the commercials were down this year. Game was down. My Super Bowl squares stunk. Never had a chance at them either. But at least I wanted the spread in the money line and an over under to make up for the horrible squares. Yeah, right. It comes around. You got action everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like the Duncan commercial too. I thought that was really good. And
then James Vanderbilt died.
The Budweiser one with Freebird was good.
Yeah.
And I thought that Bon Jovi one was a little over the top. It was a little just like they tried to throw a little too much into that one. That one just didn't hit with me as much as I like 80s music and I like seeing some of the people in it. But that one was they need to rethink that one next time. And as far as halftime shows, I took in the Kid Rock one, Turning Point. I'm much more into that kind of music than Bad Bunny stuff, and I thought he did a nice job. It did show that we might see more of these alternate halftime shows. I'd like to see that get more competitive.
No, definitely. I turned into the Turning Point one as well because, I don't know anything by Bad Bunny, and I certainly don't understand Spanish. So I didn't see much of a point of watching the regular halftime show. But you guys actually touched on a couple of my points. I was going to ask you about the commercials. We touched on that. I love the Dunkin' commercials with all the old, with all the superstars, all the actors.
Yeah, all the 90s people.
All the 90s people. I thought that was really a really cool thing. I'm sure a lot of it, I'm sure a lot of the commercials were probably AI generated.
Well, there were so many AI commercials that we were playing a drinking game at home that every time there was an AI commercial, we drank. So it was pretty much every commercial break, we were having at least one or two drinks.
I'm sure you were real tore up, Sam.
I mean, just a normal Sunday.
Just a normal Sunday. All right. And no, as far as the Turning Point halftime show, I thought that was, very good as I touched on. And like Reload, to your credit, I'm curious if this is going to now be a thing where they're going to be doing something like this every year.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see all of the streaming apps get more competitive with this. Why not have a few different halftime shows to choose from? I'm sure they can all get sponsors for them and everything else. It's a pretty key half hour of TV right there. Why doesn't Netflix have their own and some of the other ones have their own? I think there's a market for that. And that way you could just tune into whichever one you want. And that way it hoses the NFL. Why should they just get one big halftime show that everyone looks at? I can think back to many years ago. I think there were other halftime shows like MTV did their own and the WWF, WWE Wrestling did their own. They call it Halftime Heat. And they had a match between
The Rock and Mankind.
The Rock, the arena.
Great match.
And there were other times they did it too. I remember they did that for a few years. They tried it. So why not? That's all really popular now, and I'd like to see more of that.
Yes, definitely. What do you think, Sam?
I mean, overall, no. I mean, yeah, they did have the Rock and Mankind. They did have Celebrity Death Match, which was cool growing up. But I mean, overall, I mean, it should just be an American performer, which I think that's what's going to be moving forward. And then it's just a great Super Bowl show. I think this year was just an anomaly, and Roger Goodell, hates his fans, so he found a way to stick it to the fans. And I think he'll have a real eye opening once the ratings come in and all that comes in, and he'll make the decision next year to go back to what the public wants.
Yeah. Exactly. What do you guys think of, not to get political, but President Trump was saying he's not going to be tuning in to the Bad Bunny halftime show. And then they got pictures and videos of him literally tuning into the halftime show.
Well, I think, I'm sure his curiosity was there. I know, I'm sure that he was siding with the Turning Point show and Kid Rock. But let's see how it goes from here. I think, next year's Super Bowl was in LA. So that opens up a lot of possibilities, obviously, for whoever they choose. And it's West Coast again. I'm sure Trump won't go because it's on the West Coast. It'll probably still be, a fairly liberal kind of crowd and all that. So I think some other alternatives would be interesting to have again. And that's what we'll see more of.
Exactly. What do you think, Sam?
I didn't even see the picture. No comment.
Okay.
Reload, so don't get fined.
Reload. Let me jump over to you. Let's talk some NBA. We got a lot of games on the card today. What are you diving into?
Yeah, NBA. It's a big Wednesday. I posted some picks on the forum earlier today that I took on here. First of all, the Washington Wizards plus 17.5, big number at Cleveland Cavaliers. This is one of those Malinsky special plays where the team, the Cavaliers, were on a West road trip, 5-game road trip that went pretty well for them. And on one day's rest, they've got to go back and play a home game. I don't think they'll have a lot of steam in this one. It's not a good spot where you lay a lot of points, and the Wizards could easily get the back door here. So I like the Wizards plus 17.5. Also, the Milwaukee Bucks, another big dog, plus 10.5 at Orlando. They lost to the Magic Monday. It's a rematch here, and there's no tax on the line. Usually in a zigzag kind of spot, you'll see a lower number on the dog the next time, but 10.5 still there, and I grabbed it. Third play is the Miami Heat, plus 2 on the alt line at New Orleans. Seems like the Pelicans are favored in games now, and I think this should have been more of a pick. So I grabbed the Heat at plus 2. And finally, the fourth pick, LA Clippers plus 9 at Houston. This is a back-to-back. Both teams just played each other last night in the same building. Great NBA scheduling at work here, as usual. But as I usually do with back-to-backs, I take the losing team who lost the back-to-back, and I think that's the way to go here. Again, no tax here on the Clippers. It's still a nice number at plus 9. And last night's game close for 3 quarters until Houston pulled away. LA still got the cover. I think they'll get the cover again tonight.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. Sammy, over to you. NBA tonight, buddy. What do you got?
Well, of course, the Knicks are in action, so you got to take a look at the Knicks. And Knicks tend to do good on Podcast Wednesday, so you got to go with the Knicks as a small road underdog against the 76ers, reclaiming the number 2 spot in the East with a great win over the Celtics on Sunday. That was to start the Super Bowl. They played at 12 o'clock leading into the Super Bowl, so that was nice. But, yeah, I expect a lot of Wednesday. Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday for the NBA will start to take over now that to fill in the role of no more football anymore. And I agree with Reload. Wizards 17.5. That's a crazy number in NBA. Now I know teams win by 20 plus points on any given night, but just to have a spread of 17.5 is just a crazy number from the start. So I got to go with the Wizards at that plus 17.5. I think a game earlier this week that a team, they're up by 25-30. And then the fourth quarter, they bench everyone. So then the other team kind of comes back. I'm not saying they're making it competitive, but we'll take the 17. And then the other one I like is the Spurs minus 7 over Golden State.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you. And to your credit, the Knicks are 9-3 this season on Wednesdays.
There you go.
But Sammy, let me jump to you. Let's talk some college basketball, buddy. What do you got?
Yeah, college basketball, big Wednesday card for that as well. I posted 4 picks for it. First off, Seton Hall -4.5 at home to Providence. Seton Hall, they lost a tight one to Creighton over the weekend, but they're back home here against Providence. I did actually bet Providence on Saturday against DePaul, and did pretty well with that one. It was an easy win for them, but now they got to go on the road down to Newark. So I'm going to back the Seton Hall Pirates with -4.5. Second play, Northwestern +15.5. They improved a little in a close loss to Iowa on Sunday. And Michigan is their overvalued number as usual. They have been covering, but I think the premium keeps getting too high here. So Northwestern +15.5. Third play is the Boston College Eagles +2.5, a home dog to Stanford tonight. This is one of these ACC scheduling spots. We've talked about this on the show a few times. Stanford coming west to east. They've lost their last 3 East Coast games, and yet they're a road favorite here against BC. So give me the BC Eagles plus the short number at home. And finally, Kansas State +2.5, home to Cincinnati. Cincinnati 1-4 against the spread their last 5 road games. K-State had a tough loss on Saturday to TCU, so it's a nice bounce back spot, a get right game, if you will, before they go to Houston Saturday, and you know they're going to get killed in that one. So this is a winnable spot for K-State, even though they've struggled a lot and don't have a lot of wins. So I'll go with K-State +2.5.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. Sammy, over to you. College basketball on deck tonight. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, coming off a huge weekend and a big Monday and a Tuesday, Duke, Carolina over the weekend, buzzer beater. Then UNC come back and lose yesterday. Illinois lost a couple in a row. Arizona lost on Monday, their first loss on the road against Kansas. Nebraska lost yesterday too. So, you're in the middle of the season. You got a few weeks to go before conference tournament. Teams are eventually going to have a couple losses, which isn't surprising. But you got 6, 7, 8 teams that are so good. It's setting up for great conference tournaments and hopefully a great March Madness. For tonight, number 2 Michigan on the road against Northwestern. I like them -15.5. I do like Georgia +9 at home against Florida, and then I'll take another top 5 team, UConn -11 over Butler.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you. Reload. Let me jump over to you. Have you been catching and betting on any of the Olympic events so far?
No, nothing much. I did think it was kind of neat that Mike Tirico made that broadcasting
13-hour. Yeah, I saw that.
Right to the Olympics. I don't know if anyone ever really did anything like that before, so I thought that was pretty neat. But no, not much with the Olympics right now.
All righty, Sammy, over to you. Olympics.
No, I haven't been betting any of it, but I've definitely been watching a ton of it. I mean, it's been, it's the Olympics. It's captivating, but also how am I supposed to bet on it? I don't know who these people are. 99% of athletes could walk into my car dealership to buy a car, and I'd have no idea who they are, So, I mean, that's just the reality. I mean, one of my friends that graduated a year above me is a professional baseball player, and you would have no idea. There was an NBA player that grew up in this area at a bar that I was at over the summer. And he's just a 21-year-old kid that was just hanging out with his friends. So again, he's 6'3", he's above, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's a bigger guy, but you'd have no idea. So especially when it comes to the Olympics, I have no idea who these people are. But the U.S. women's dominating in hockey. They just beat Canada yesterday. I know in curling, the USA mixed doubles, they're in the gold medal match. You see that guy that did the backflip and figure skating? That was fucking cool. And then, maybe not USA, but Jake Paul's girlfriend, that girl that did the speed skating, that's a fun event. But yeah, I mean, I love watching the Olympics. Right now, USA, they got 11 medals overall. They're in 3rd place overall behind Norway and Italy. But again, from a betting standpoint, no. But Olympics is a sport that I can watch. Like, I can't watch basketball without action on it. I can watch all of the Olympics with no action and have a ton of fun watching it.
All righty, awesome, Sammy. Thank you. And just a programming note, guys, there will be no show next week as I will not be in the country. But with that being said, there will be a Mega Cruise thread. I'll be posting plenty of videos, plenty of pictures, and
plenty of food.
Excuse me?
Plenty of food.
Plenty of food and drinks as well. That's right. But you guys have an awesome week. We will catch you on the forum, and best of luck
See ya.
with all your action.
Right.